Barack Obama is only 43 delegates short of the 2026 needed to win the race. Hillary Clinton has won a slim majority of delegates in Michigan and Florida. But she would not be able to secure the nomination even if the party decides that they will count all of those delegates. And joining us now, not far from that hotel in Washington, is Solon Simmons, a professor of sociology and conflict analysis at George Mason University. He specializes in U.S. politics. Solon, thanks very much for guiding us through this. It seems like an endless process. Is this the dirty laundry that the Democratic Party wants everyone to see?
Not really. You know, Scott, this meeting is taking place just a stone's throw from the National Zoo here in D.C. Based on the behavior of the participants, I think that that's both ironic and appropriate. And there's a lot of sound and fury here today. It's not clear what it's going to signify, other than that the Clinton campaign may have the ambition to push this into another session, perhaps to the Credentials Committee, and we may be watching this all the way to Denver. We'll wait and see late into tonight.
Well, as they say, you're not supposed to feed the animals at the zoo, but what are they going to give both parties? Are they going to give them anything?
It's very hard to predict it. It's dangerous to say what's going to happen. They've had a press release after the lunch, where the lunch isn't quite over yet, but the sense that they might go to credentials. One thing we can be sure of is the magic number of 2026 that we've been watching throughout the process is probably going to rise. Will rise, almost certainly. The question is how much, and that's because the Michigan and Florida delegations will probably be seated in some capacity. So that's the only thing we can say. How they'll do it, whether cutting them in half or what procedure will be used, we really don't know.
If they cut them in half, wouldn't that just leave things the way they are?
It would be, to some extent, I suppose it would, and that suggests that the nomination contest is largely over, and that's why this is a little bit of a strange process. Hillary Clinton and the insiders like Harold Ickes have seemed like they've known something that we all don't all along, and so we'll see if they really do. But the process of reform is a very tricky one and has gone through many iterations. And we'll probably see another one after this thing is all over.
All right, the Clinton campaign has said that there's a chance that she could end up with the most votes and win the popular vote. Would that change this race at all?
I don't think, well, it's very difficult to say. Again, this is the superdelegates who are deciding this today. What's so interesting about today's process is that this is the insider of the insiders. I mean, these people make the superdelegates look like unregistered voters. That is, these 30 who are making these decisions. And so they may be sending signals. There might be deals going on behind the scenes we don't know about. This is the smoke-filled room without the smoke happening as we speak. So it's just very unclear if there could be anything that comes of it.
Now, outside of this room, this is a very crucial week for the Democrats. The final states are voting. What do you expect in those states? I mean, there are only 3 left. Are they big ones that are going to decide this?
Not really. You know, the biggest one is, oddly enough, Puerto Rico, which is not a state, has an odd relationship to the United States, and can't vote. Their votes don't count in the general. So it plays an odd role. It has its 55 delegates. Moving forward, it seems that Hillary Clinton looks good in those contests. And we can expect that she'll do pretty well. And I think that in some case she's trying to push that process forward of saying, look, I really am the best candidate. And she does have an argument. She has won the big states. She probably would have won had they organized this in a different way. And party reform is an odd process in the Democratic Party. You know, that one of the best lines from today is that where one of the participants said, I'm a member of an organized party. I'm a Democrat, a famous line. And that's the feeling we get today. We don't want this, if you're a Democrat, to become a 1968 where you have chaos erupting. And if Clinton wins, we can look forward to some chaos, I would assume.
Absolutely fascinating battle. Solon Simmons from George Mason University. Thank you very much for joining us once again.
Okay, thanks, Scott.